Our next reader is Deborah Michel. Deborah, a former magazine editor and freelance writer, has worked on publications that include House Beautiful, Premiere, Los Angeles, and the Los Angeles Times Magazine. She served as an editor and nightlife columnist for Avenue Magazine, that sounds like fun, and was the West Coast correspondent for Spy, and served as contributing editor at Buzz. Her first novel, Prosper in Love, came out in May 2012, and that's the one we have on our book table. She has another novel forthcoming next spring called The Idiot of Silicon Valley. So welcome, Deborah.
Thank you. Does that sound okay? Okay. Thank you. Thank you to both Carrie and Jean. I think all the writers here, I think I can speak for everyone in saying how wonderful it is to have a venue like this, and how grateful we all are to you for doing this over a long period, keeping it going. Very impressive. So I'm going to read a short section from my novel, Prosper in Love, which is it's really a comedy of manners about a young couple, Lynn and Jamie Prosper, and they believe that they are perfectly happy in a perfectly happy marriage until a snake comes into their marital Garden of Eden in the form of an old college friend of Lynn's named FX, and he likes to make trouble. When Lynn got home, Jamie was waiting for her in the living room, ramrod straight in the middle of the sofa. "Jamie!" Lynn dropped her purse and hurried in. "You got back early. You're not going to believe what happened at work today." "You have a message," he said. "What?" She leaned over to plant a kiss on his cheek. His face was stony. "You have a message on the phone." She looked at him, wondering what was wrong. "Was your flight okay? Are you exhausted? You haven't eaten yet, have you?" He stood abruptly. "Your friend, FX, called." Lynn froze. Jamie was watching, and his lip curled. "What did he say?" "Jamie, at work today." "Why don't you go and listen to the message?" "Fine," she said, and headed for the bedroom. But in the door to the kitchen, she turned back to him. "I really don't appreciate your suspicion," she said. The phone in the second, smaller bedroom, which they used as an office, had a button for voicemail and their retrieval code programmed in, so that was where they usually picked up messages. Lynn pressed the voicemail button. There was one saved message. "Hey," came FX's voice, full of innuendo as always. "I know hubby doesn't want you talking to me. You should tell me how much you tell him so I don't make mistakes. But call me. There's something we need to discuss." Lynn hit erase, then turned on her heel and marched back into the living room. Jamie was back on the couch, but sprawled out now, as if this no longer had anything to do with him. "Look," she said, "I have no idea what he's doing. I mean, I think I know what it's about because—" "Yes?" Jamie looked up at her as if he couldn't wait to hear what she'd come up with next. "Oh, I hate you," she cried, at which he sprung to his feet. "You hate me?" "It's about work," she said. Jamie crossed his arms over his chest with a nasty, skeptical smile. "It is. Richard Plant gave—" "Did you tell hubby about us?" Jamie mimicked. "I can't control him. He did that on purpose. He's the devil." Jamie couldn't help a spurt of laughter, and Lynn's heart slowed a little. That is, she became aware of how fast it had been beating. "He is the devil," she said. "He's a troublemaker. But Richard Plant donated $1 million to the museum today." As she calmed down, though, there was room for other thoughts. Her eyes narrowed. Just exactly what do you suspect me of? You're saying your friend got his boss to donate? No, but Lynn felt queasily unsure. Jamie dropped back onto the sofa, all stiffness gone. He slumped forward, his head in his hands, rubbing his temples. I'm just tired, he said. I just got off a plane. She sank down next to him. Oh, Jamie, I'm sorry too. I'm sorry you're tired. When he spoke, it was in a monotone. I was on a plane today, I was on a plane 2 days ago, and last week, and next week, and forever. Lynn looked at him. His jaw was still tight. Is something wrong? Tentatively, she brushed the hair from his brow. Eyes closed, he lifted his cheek toward her, as if toward warmth, and also an invitation to caress, which she did. But it came to her that there was something forced about this, as if he were trying to distract her. No, it's fine, he said. After a moment, he added, they're extending the deal. Oh, Jamie, I thought this was going to be the last month. He pulled away from her. It's good for me. It's because they like my work. You think you could be more supportive. I'm sorry, she faltered. I just miss you when you're gone, that's all. You act as though you don't think I hate it too. Well, if you hate it, why not quit? Lynn rose to this idea eagerly. You could do something else. It isn't worth it. Jamie rounded on her. For an insane second, she thought he was going to strike her. Why not quit? I'll tell you why not. Who'd pay for all this? This house, this life. Why not quit? Right, like I can. Can you please join the rest of us here in the real world, Lynn? She was up in a flash. Don't blame me. You already had this job when we met. You wanted this house too. I didn't force you into anything. You're right, he said. But if I ever had any notion of quitting, it's impossible now. She stared at him. Are you saying you're sorry we got married? That's where I'll stop. Thank you.
That's one bad cat, Harry.